Hi everyone, learning English grammar is fun. I'm going to talk about the difference between past simple and present perfect. Let's start. Now let's start with the past simple tense. Affirmative form of the past simple tense. Okay, if the verb is regular, it accepts D, ED, I, ED. For example, she cooked lunch yesterday. Here we have the rules of adding ED to the verb in the past, if it is regular. When the final letter is E, only add letter D. Okay, so here I add only D because the verb ends with E, like the verb love and move. They end with letter E, so I add only D to change them into the past simple. Number 2, if the verb is CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant, okay? You have to double the last consonant, like the verb rub. Here, before adding ED, I double the last letter, double B, okay? Another verb, stop. Here, I also double the last letter before adding ED. Number 3, final L is always doubled, okay? So here, if the verb ends with letter L, I double the letter before adding ED, like the verb travel, traveled, cancel, cancelled, okay? The last point, if the verb ends in Y and before letter Y, a consonant, cross Y and add I, ED, okay? For example, the verb worry, here this verb ends with letter Y and there is a consonant before letter R, okay? So here before adding ED, I delete letter Y and add I, ED. Also, verb study ends with letter Y, so here I delete letter Y and add IED. But if the verb ends with Y and there is a vowel before, like the verb play, you don't delete letter Y, okay? You add ED without deleting letter Y. If the verb is irregular, like the verb go, went, buy, bought, you have to keep these words, okay? For example, she cut her hand and felt much pain last Saturday. So verb cut here and felt are irregular verbs. So in the sample, there are regular verbs except D, ED, IED, and there are some irregular verbs. Now let's talk about the negative form of the past simple. We have just studied that in the past simple I use one verb. This verb could be regular except D, ED, IED, or it could be a irregular verb like go, went, and buy, bought. When you wanted to change the sentence into negative in the past simple, there is one verb in the past. I use didn't plus infinitive verb. Didn't plus infinitive verb. Here, for example, she went to the party yesterday. Here we have one verb in the sentence, verb went. In the past simple, it's an irregular verb. When I wanted to change into negative, I will use didn't plus verb infinitive. Verb infinitive here, the main verb in the sentence. So the sentence will be, she didn't and go, verb infinitive of the main verb of the sentence. Okay, she didn't go to the party yesterday. Yes, no question. There are always 3 steps to form a yes, no question. Auxiliary verb, subject, verb. Auxiliary verb, subject, verb. Okay, in the past simple, I use did to start the yes, no question. Here, for example, he traveled to Paris last month. Again, here we have a sentence in the past simple, one verb in the sentence. So I have to start the yes no question with did. The subject is he, and after the subject I have to use verb infinitive of the main verb. Traveled will be travel. Okay? Did he travel to Paris last month? Yes, he did, or no, he didn't. WH word question. There are 4 steps here to form the WH word question. Okay? WH word like where, when, why, how, plus the 3 steps that you use to form a yes no question in the past simple. Did, the auxiliary verb, subject, and verb infinitive. 1, 2, 3, 4. WH word, did, subject, verb infinitive. For example, I spent, irregular verb in the past simple, my holiday in America. I'll delete the word in America to ask with where about it. And I will use did, the auxiliary verb of the past simple, where did. I change it into you, okay? Where did you? And instead of I use you in the question. Where did you spend is the infinitive form of the verb spent, your holiday, okay? Now, let's know the key words of the past simple. Of course, we have some words that refers to the past simple, like yesterday, ago, a week ago, 2 hours ago, 3 days ago, 4 months ago, okay? In 1990, 1999, okay? In 2010, a year before the year that we are in. Last week, last summer, last Christmas, last night, last Saturday, okay? In January, okay, on 15th April, on Monday, in the 20th century, once upon a time. Now let's talk about the present perfect tense, okay? The positive or the affirmative form of the present perfect, have or has, plus past participle. Has or have plus past participle. Has comes with he, she, it, or any singular noun. Have comes with I, you, we, they, or any plural noun. So the affirmative sentence in the present perfect should have the verb has or have plus past participle. For example, I have done it. It could refer to your homework, okay? He has done it. Here, done is the past participle of verb do. To change into negative, here in the present perfect, because I have 2 verbs, has or have plus past participle. The first verb is the auxiliary verb in the tense. So the auxiliary verb in present perfect is has or have. I will use them to change into negative, has not, have not, and to ask the question. In the negative form, okay, I will use has not, hasn't, or have not, haven't, plus past participle. Has not, hasn't, okay, or have not, haven't, plus past participle. For example, I have not or I haven't done it. He has not or hasn't done it. Of course, you can use the word never instead of not. So I can say in the negative sentence, in the present perfect, I have not done my homework, or I have never done my homework. To form yes-no question in the present perfect, I have just told you that the auxiliary verb in the present perfect is has or have. So here I have to start, there is no question, 3 steps with has or have according to the subject. If the subject is singular, has. If the subject is plural, I will use have. Has or have, auxiliary plus subject, okay, plus past participle. 3 steps. Have you done it? Have you done your homework? Okay. Has she done it? Has she done her homework? Of course, any yes no question should be answered with yes or no. Now let's talk about the present perfect keywords. Just and already. Just means very recent action. Affirmative sentences. We use just in affirmative sentences between have and has and the past participle. They have just married. They have just left. The action happened recently. Already used in affirmative sentences too, between has and have and the past participle. She has already eaten her sandwich. I can also use already at the end of the affirmative sentence. So I can say she has eaten her sandwich already. Yet. We use yet in the negative sentences and the questions. Okay? At the end of the negative sentence and at the end of the yes-no question. She hasn't eaten her sandwich yet. Has she eaten her sandwich yet? Now let's talk about for and since. Both words have the same meaning. However, after for, we put period of time or number plus time word. When we measure the duration of something or how long it lasts, it has a start point and an end point and can be used in different tenses. Okay? Examples for preposition for in the present perfect: for 10 minutes, for 8 hours, for 5 days, for 6 months, 3 years, for 2 centuries. Okay? I can say also for a long time, for ages. Here on the right, the word since plus starting point, a time, a date, when something started in the past and continues until now. Okay? For example, since 8 o'clock, when exactly the action started in the past. Since 8 o'clock, since Monday, since February, since 1982, since I left school. Sentence in the past simple. Since the end of last century. Ever and never. Keywords for present perfect. The word never means not at any time in the past, including now. For example, I have never seen such a beautiful sunset. The word ever means at any time, including the present. Okay, it's used in questions. Have you ever ridden a horse? We rarely use the word ever in affirmative sentences. Now, let's know the difference between have gone and have been. Okay? She has gone to the shops. This means that she is still there. She hasn't come back yet. Have been, she has been to Paris twice. This means she has visited Paris twice. She is not there now. She has come back. So the verb gone means you don't come back. Been means you come back. Okay? Now let's focus on the difference between the past simple and the present perfect. Here in this example, I read the book, I have read the book. The difference is we use the past simple to talk about finished action, okay? That doesn't have any result in the present, or it didn't continue to the present. It started and ended in a specific time in the past. I have read the book, present perfect. Here we use the present perfect to talk about a finished action that has a result in the present, or an action that continued to the present. Difference between the past simple and the present perfect in this example. She cut her hand and she felt much pain last Saturday. This sentence is in the past simple. This sentence is about a finished action that has no result in the present and didn't continue to the present. This sentence means that her hand is okay in the present and she doesn't feel pain anymore. However, when we say she has cut her hand and she has felt much pain since last Saturday, here we use the present perfect. In this sentence is about a finished action that has a result in the present and continued to the present. This sentence means that her hand is not okay and she still feels pain in the present.
Now let's apply what we have studied through answering the questions. Number 1, put the verbs into the correct tense in the following sentences, past simple or present perfect. Number 1, we prepare already dinner. Here in number 1 we have the word already, a key word of the present perfect, so here I have to put the sentence in the present perfect. The answer will be we have already prepared. We have already prepared. Number 2, James find your ring in the garden yesterday. The word yesterday is a key word for the past simple, so here the answer will be James found. James found. Number 3, form a question, yes, no question, okay. You, ever, him. Here the word ever is a key word for the present perfect, so I have to use have or has to form the yes, no question. The answer will be have you ever met, have you ever met him. Number 4, we be not in the zoo so far. Again, the word so far is a key word for the present perfect, so here I have to use have or has plus past participle. The answer will be we haven't, we have not been to the zoo so far. Number 5, fell, go, not to the cinema last night. Here the word last night is a key word for the past simple, so the answer will be Phil didn't go. Phil didn't go to the cinema. Number 6, when their car 2 years ago is the answer. So here I have to form the question in the past simple. When, auxiliary verb of the past simple, did, when did they buy, verb infinitive. When did they buy? Number 7, I see not anyone yet. Here we have the word yet, a key word for the present perfect. So I have to form the sentence in the present perfect. I haven't seen anyone yet. I haven't seen anyone yet. Now let's answer question number 2. Rewrite the following sentences. Number 1, I didn't eat at this restaurant a long time ago. This sentence is in the past simple. Okay, and I want you to use the word yet, so you have to change the sentence into present perfect. Instead of didn't, I will use haven't, the auxiliary verb of the present perfect. I haven't. Eat will be eaten, because I have to put past participle after have or has. I haven't eaten at this restaurant yet, and you have to delete a long time ago. I haven't eaten at this restaurant yet. Number 2, yes, no question in the past simple. Did you win this competition? Here I want you to use the word ever, a key word for the present perfect. So the question will be, instead of did, I will use have. Have you? Okay, have you? Win will be won, past participle of win. Have you ever won this competition? Number 3, Brain has lived in Venice since 2020. Okay, the sentence is in the present perfect. I want you to use last year, a key word for the past simple. So you have to change the sentence into past simple. The answer will be Brain lived. I will delete has and use lived, the past form of the verb live. Brain lived in Venice last year. Okay? Number 4, he wanted some peanuts. Use not, which means that you have to change into negative. So the answer will be he wanted, verb in the past simple, so I have to use the auxiliary verb of the past simple, did. He didn't want, verb infinitive after did. He didn't want, instead of some, exactly, any. He didn't want any peanuts, because we use any in the negative sentence. Number 5, has he ever traveled to the USA? Question in the present perfect. Here, I want you to start with did, the auxiliary verb of the past simple. Okay, so the answer will be did he, infinitive verb, travel. Did he travel to the USA? Number 6, astronauts walked on the moon in 1969. This sentence in the past simple, I want you to use since present perfect. So the answer will be astronauts have walked on the moon since 1969. Now choose the right answer. Number 1, last weekend I some research for a scientific project. Last weekend, keyword for the past simple, so I have to use did. I did. Number 2, I have just. After have and has, I have to use past participle, so the answer will be I have just had. Number 3, I on a sharp rock. I can't walk till now. So this is something happened in the past and it has a result in the present. I have to use here the present perfect. Number 3, I have fallen. I have fallen. Number 4, she has lived in the countryside since she. After since, I have to use a sentence in the past simple, since she was young. Number 5, I have watched this movie an hour. Okay, so here I have to use for. Number 6, Jenny has read a magazine. Has, Here I need a word that I can use in a negative sentence between has and have and the past participle red. Jenny has never. Okay, number 7, 2 days ago, past simple. My missing ring. I found. Number 8, Meg isn't here. He has to the club. So this sentence means that he didn't come back. So I have to use gone. He has gone.
I hope you enjoyed our lesson today. Stay positive, work hard, make it happen. See you.